So Medicare, it's something we've all heard of. We all paid it on our taxes, all right, income taxes. But not a lot of us know very much about what Medicare is all about. Yet a lot of us are going to be on Medicare at some point in our lifetime. So it is important to know about. According to Becker's Hospital Review, which is a foremost leading magazine as far as for business analytics and statistics, 55.2 million people are on Medicare this year. And of that 55.2 million people, they spend about $605.9 billion on Medicare expenses, which equates to about $11,000 per person. So it is something that's expensive. A lot of people that are on Medicare are on fixed incomes. It's just Social Security, so it is an expensive thing. So it's important to kind of know about and get an idea for how Medicare works. We're going to start by talking about Medicare Part A and Part B, which is original Medicare. Part A covers hospitals, Part B covers the doctors and services you get. And then there's alternatives to original Medicare. You can have a Medicare Advantage plans, it's basically Medicare benefits administered by an insurance company instead of through the government. And then there's a Part D Medicare, which is for prescription coverage. So we're going to kind of talk about that, how you qualify for Medicare, the parts included in Medicare, and then alternatives to Medicare. So the way you qualify for Medicare, there's two ways you can qualify for Medicare. The first is by aging in. That's the most common way. You age into Medicare by turning 65. That's when you qualify for both Medicare Part A and Part B. The other way is if you're on disability for 2 years. Once you're on disability for 2 years, you also qualify for Medicare. So you can be 30 or 35 or 40 and still qualify for Medicare, so long as you've been on disability for 2 years. Pull this up here quick. So Part A is hospital coverage. The way that works when you qualify for Medicare is you're responsible for the first $1,316 in hospital expenses before you're fully covered in the hospital. So essentially, if you go to the hospital for 1 day, and your bill's $1,000, you're fully responsible for that $1,000 in medical expenses. The deductible for the hospital is pretty high, $1,316, which is the reason why a lot of people do look for alternatives just to original Medicare. But you are fully covered once you get to that $1,316 for your room and board in the hospital. Part B of Medicare is your doctors and services that you get with Medicare. A lot of these are going to be, doctor office visits and any kind of outpatient stuff that you usually get done in a hospital. For those, there's a deductible which is a lot smaller. It's only $183, but you're responsible for the first $183 in medical expenses, and then after that, Medicare will pay about 80% of your doctor bills, and you pay 20%. So people that have really high doctor bills throughout the year, you're still paying 20% of your expenses. So you can still, even though you have Medicare helping you out with paying your medical bills, you can still have pretty high out-of-pocket costs. Which brings me to our second point here is the alternatives to Medicare, what you can have. So there's called Medicare Part C, which is Medicare Advantage plans, which are offered by private insurance companies like Aetna, Humana, Cigna, United. Basically what this is going to be is it's going to be it's basically an additional premium that you pay to an insurance company, and the insurance company is going to pay your benefits for you for Medicare. These will cover things that Medicare normally doesn't cover, even Medicare normally is just going to be for doctors and hospitals. This is going to cover things like doctors and hospitals, but also cover dental and vision coverage for people that are looking to see the dentist or have some coverage towards eyeglasses. Medicare Advantage plans will cover that for them. They usually come with an additional premium, but you get more benefits with that plan, so a lot of people don't mind paying the extra premium in order to receive a little bit more coverage and have a little bit more of a security as far as for out-of-pocket expenses go. And the last part of Medicare is Medicare Part D. This is a kind of, it's not a requirement, but Medicare Part D is prescription drug coverage. Medicare does say that if you don't have credible drug coverage once you start Medicare, if you do need to get it later, you don't need to get it, but if you do need to get it later on, there's a penalty for it, which is 1% per month that you don't have credible drug coverage. So it's always a good idea to have drug coverage help pay for your prescriptions, even when you're not taking prescription coverage or prescription medications. Give you an idea for that. that's kind of a basic rundown of how you qualify for Medicare. You usually have to be on Medicare either by turning 65 or be on disability for 2 years. The basics of original Medicare, which is Medicare Part A and Part B, which covers you for the hospital and for doctors, and then alternatives, which are going to be like Medicare Advantage plans and your prescription drug coverage that you can have. All right, thank you.
Yeah, that was good, Bo.